Now, the dysbiotic state is going to alter the ratio of bacteria known as Bacteroides to Firmicutes ratio. Now, this altered ratio of Bacteroides to Firmicutes is going to impair the production of proteins that form these tight junctions. Therefore, poor tight junctions lead to intestinal permeability. And finally, this intestinal permeability is going to allow for the potential translocation of lipopolysaccharide, also called LPS, and also known as endotoxin, which I've mentioned in many previous videos. Gut health is well understood to be a crucial marker for health. Poor gut health is associated with several chronic diseases, including diabetes. Many simply think that carbohydrates are the primary issue when it comes to diabetes. However, as I covered in previous videos, there's a lot more that's involved. Today, we'll review how poor gut health is not only associated with diabetes, but can also cause diabetes and insulin resistance. Hi, my name is Jeremiah Farias. I'm a functional registered dietitian, and I help adults suffering from blood sugar dysregulation issues, conditions like type 2 diabetes and prediabetes, using a bioenergetic approach to optimize cellular energy production. I dive into the science and mechanisms involved in optimizing blood sugar health, but also one's overall health, while providing you with practical takeaways. I hope you enjoy today's content. Gut health is all the rage lately, and this makes sense because having healthy digestion is crucial for one's overall health. Our digestive tract is where we extract macronutrients and micronutrients from the foods that we eat. And starting in the stomach, that's where protein digestion begins, but it relies on having a sufficient amount of stomach acid. Having acidic enough stomach acid is also necessary to activate something called intrinsic factor. And intrinsic factor is responsible for the absorption of vitamin B12. Lastly, having acidic enough stomach acid is key in preventing foodborne illness. This is going to kill any bacteria that might be remaining on our food, and it prevents it from getting past the stomach and finding its way into the small intestine or even the large intestine. So we'll now talk about how poor gut health can lead to insulin resistance and diabetes. First, a diet consisting of processed food devoid of nutrients and containing other compounds that are problematic is going to impair cellular energy production and increase oxidative stress. And as a result, these compounds, these things in processed foods are going to drive diabetes and insulin resistance. These same poor diets also contribute to poor digestion. Specifically, a poor diet is going to lead to something called dysbiosis. Dysbiosis is considered an imbalance in the gut microbial community. This can mean that you have less than ideal amounts of commensal or beneficial bacteria. It can also mean that there's a presence of more pathogenic bacteria in the gut. Now, one of the many issues with dysbiosis is it impairs the production of short-chain fatty acids. And as you may be aware, the production of short-chain fatty acids is crucial for optimal gut health. So normally when one consumes indigestible carbohydrates like fiber or prebiotics from fruits and vegetables, they're going to make their way down to the colon. Bacteria are going to ferment this and produce short-chain fatty acids. These short-chain fatty acids are then going to nourish the cells of the colon called colonocytes. And short-chain fatty acids play an important role in protecting the lining of our gut. Through nourishing the colonocytes, they allow for the proper formation of tight junctions. And proper formation of tight junctions helps one avoid intestinal permeability. Now, the dysbiotic state is going to alter the ratio of bacteria known as Bacteroides to Firmicutes ratio. Now, this altered ratio of Bacteroides to Firmicutes is going to impair the production of proteins that form these tight junctions. Therefore, poor tight junctions lead to intestinal permeability. And finally, this intestinal permeability is going to allow for the potential translocation of lipopolysaccharide, also called LPS, and also known as endotoxin, which I've mentioned in many previous videos. LPS or endotoxin can then bind to toll-like receptor 4. Eventually, this leads to the downstream activation of a variety of kinases. One is called C-Jun N-terminal kinases, and the other is known as inhibitor kappa B kinase. The activation of both these kinases is problematic, as these can induce insulin receptor substrates serine phosphorylation. So the phosphorylation of serine residues in insulin receptor substrate 1 leads to the impaired ability of insulin receptor substrate 1 to activate downstream phosphatidylinositol 3 kinase dependent pathways. This ultimately leads to the insulin resistance that we see in diabetes. And as you can see, what occurs in the gut doesn't just remain in the gut. The health of our gut is going to affect every other system of our body. This is why I emphasize the importance of eating a diet that is going to optimize gut health. We want to eat foods that don't cause any gastrointestinal symptoms like gas, bloating, constipation, and diarrhea. This is why I ensure those that I work with are not experiencing gastrointestinal symptoms or issues, as this can be driving some of their blood sugar issues and diabetes. This is why I created my free macronutrient guide, and in it, I included 2 categories of vegetables. I separated them into harder to digest vegetables and easier to digest vegetables. You can find this handout and another one that I created in the description below. If you're looking to get to the root of your diabetes and not just be told you need to avoid or restrict carbohydrates, you can apply to work with me. You can fill out a quick form, and then I'll reach out to you to schedule a free call. And in that call, we'll review how I can help you reach your absolute best health. The link to apply will also be in the description. And I'm curious, what diet and lifestyle related factors have you heard are important for optimizing gut health? Let me know in the comments. In next week's video, I'll review what foods and compounds can be causing gastrointestinal issues. I will then go over what we can do from a diet and lifestyle standpoint to optimize the health of our gut. So be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss it. If you enjoyed today's video, please be sure to hit that like button and share it with someone that you believe could benefit or enjoy it. You can also check out my video debunking diabetes myths, fruit fears. In it, I clear up any confusion and myths around fruit consumption and diabetes, and highlight the many benefits that fruit consumption provides for our health. I'll link to that right here so you can check that out next. Take care, and I'll see you next week.